to our final speaker. I hope you'll be happy to hear. The final speaker is Phil Lloyd. Phil is a member of the committee at the Alliance, and he is also part of the Sanctuary Springs Green Meadows residents group. And he has made a particular study of the, he's addressed council meetings several times, he's made a particular study of the main failings of the council's action in this. Yes, Phil. He's only got one arm, but that doesn't stop him talking.
He's been swinging it.
Thanks, John. Look, just to start, our issues rest solely with the select councillor voting bloc and some in the upper management of council positions. Yep. We harbour no animosity at all to the frontline council working staff, and many of them have been caught unfairly up in this whole project as well. Look, I won't go into detail about any lack of potential government funding for this project, which we know is around $1 billion in 2016 money terms, nor the extremely unlikely scenario that permission to cross the nature reserve will ever be given. We know this has received recent media coverage thanks to Leslie. Council's continued contention, though, that the orbital road will solve Port Macquarie's current and future traffic congestion is bogus and deliberately misleading. We have traffic congestion issues at peak times, but there are significantly cheaper and more effective initiatives that offer immediate solutions rather than 20 years down the track. It is not our role to detail these here. Council have numerous submissions, including improvements to the mess near Wrights Road roundabout. Of major concern to us, though, is Council's ongoing reluctance or almost refusal to completely duplicate Lake Road, despite a 2008 Council directive to do so. This current east-west link solves nothing. Neither current nor future road users will likely use this during peak times. It simply moves traffic into already existing choke points. It's ironic that at the 11th hour, Council has now decided to include wider traffic congestion investigations into the orbital strategic business case. Surely this should have been done before any consideration of the orbital road in the first place. And surprise, surprise, we've been saying that since the first council meeting we addressed back in December. Now recently, Councillors Hawkins and Levito have cried poor over Council's financial situation. Councillor Levito suggesting we borrow $25 million to catch up on some of the backlog of infrastructure, selecting key projects without consulting anyone else. These included the upgrade of Boundary Street, sealing of the Hatch Road, improvements to Lake Cat-Eye, and many of these, or most, are certainly very worthy projects. But when Mayor Pinson tried to provide similar funding by tapping into a council slush fund, she was shut down by this same councillor voting bloc. In 2017, Council opted not to pursue an almost guaranteed $22 million state grant for the same Boundary Street upgrade. Is this the type of fiscal management we deserve from our council? They conveniently ignore the $4.3 million Strategic Priority Reserve Fund put aside in this year's budget. Apparently, this is solely for their favoured orbital road route. Now, if Council can put aside this amount each year, why do we need to put ourselves into debt at all? Council's already had significant investment in property near the new Bunnings, we believe in the millions, and on top of that we have ratepayer funds already wasted on orbital road consultants. To add insult to injury, they intend to waste another $880,000 plus on a strategic business case, considering options which we've clearly shown are not feasible. Now, from the outset, there's been no genuine attempt by Council to engage the wider public or residents directly impacted. We have only to look at the timing of the initial notification of affected residents just before Christmas. That limited our access to Council staff, and even if we could find Council staff to speak to, none had received any training to answer any of the questions that we had. The whole orchestrated process has smacked of Council simply ticking off regulatory boxes. We had the sham of a community engagement report, heavily reliant on a cold call automated phone survey without any context, done well before the community engagement report officially started. It should not have been included. The hundreds of more detailed feedback from councils that residents made on have you say responses, almost uniformly critical of the orbital road, were largely discounted and ignored. As we've said, there have been, counted them today, over 20